open court at this time.
Welcome all. 36th District Court, State of Michigan is now in session with the Honorable Judge Shannon Holmes presiding. During this Zoom court proceeding, there will be no gum chewing, eating, drinking, smoking, or talking. Also, you're required to be dressed appropriately for court. No do-rags, hats, pajamas, low-cut tops, spaghetti string tops, or underclothes should be visible. If you have any additional electronic devices, please silence them or turn them off now. Thank you all in advance for your compliance, and good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning and good morning, everyone. All right. Before we get started, I want to make sure that everybody, if you could keep your phone muted until it's your time. Also, I'm going to address some individuals who were in my courtroom early this morning when I dialed in for a meeting. And so I'm going to start with Miss Kathy. Miss Kathy is here on a bench. Miss Kathy, if you could unmute your phone, and everyone else, please keep your phone muted. Hey, good morning, Miss Kathy. State your name for the record.
Morning, Danielle Kathy.
All right, thank you for joining us. Miss Drew, I do have the ROA already for Miss Kathy. And so,
Okay.
but I don't believe that Mr. Griffin or Mr. Lamb have it. We would need to send that ROA. Who wants to go in the breakout room for Miss Kathy because she's here on an arraignment on the bench warrant. Mr. Griffin, you will? You're muted.
Sure. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. And so, Miss Kathy, you are going to be sent to breakout room. Give me 1 second. You're going to be sent to breakout room number 1. And I'm going to ask you, I'm sorry, it'll be breakout room number 2 that I'm going to send you to. And I'm going to ask you to accept the invitation, please. And you'll go with Attorney Herman Griffith.
Okay.
If you're on an iPhone and you have the ability to change your name, please accept the invitation. All right, very good. And then there are just and then I'm going to do the Wayne County Jail. And actually, I need to do the Wayne County Jail first. And so, are we ready on the Wayne County Jail? That is going to be Miss Beard's case. Miss Drew, if you could read Miss Beard's case number into the record for me, please, and add her to my docket if she's not
Yes, ma'am.
prepared.
Okay, calling case number 19044777701, Ms. Nyla Beard.
All right, thank you, Ms. Beard.
You're
Please
welcome.
state your name for the record.
And y'all enjoy Beard.
And Ms. Beard, you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of Zoom on this morning?
Sure, Judge Holmes.
Sorry, is that a yes or a no?
I say yes, Judge Holmes.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. For the attorney, defense counsel, your appearance, please. Okay, we still can't hear you, Mr. Lamb. I'm not certain what's going on. It doesn't say you're muted, but we can't hear you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Michael Lamb, P79816, appearing on behalf of Ms. Beard.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lamb. And then for our specialty court.
Matt Lorenz, case manager for 36th District Court, Specialty Court.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lorenz. All right, Ms. Beard, we had an opportunity. How are you this morning?
It depends on what you're gonna tell me, Your Honor.
It depends. All right, well, let's try it. Let's try it. All right, so we had an opportunity to staff your case this morning, and you are going to be going to positive images they're going to take you in for inpatient treatment. You are going to get the tether, but it is going to be through house arrest. It will not be through the Wayne County Jail, so you won't have to wait in that process. And they are
Amen.
going
Thank you.
to, yes, ma'am. See, we still working for you. We still working for you, Miss Beard. I really want to see you get better. I really want to see you get back on track and do the things that I know you're capable of doing. So we are working for you. And then we're going to get you transported so that there's no issue. Positive Images has agreed to get you transported by way of Uber. And so once everything is processed, you will get in that Uber. You will go directly to Positive Images, nowhere else. And then,
Absolutely not.
all right, and then you will get your tether at Positive Images. So can I count on you to follow those instructions, Miss Beard?
Your Honor, I have never not shown up wherever you have told me to within the time that you have told me to. So yes, I will be there.
Oh, that's a yes, and you are absolutely right. I can count on you to be exactly where I've asked you to be. And so that's the plan. So now, how do you feel, Miss Beard? A little bit
I'm
better?
feel, I feel more less anxious. I just want my stuff now. So
Okay, and I know that they have, Mr. Lorenz, if you could just speak to Ms. Beard with respect to her belongings, how that's going to work, if you can, just briefly.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Beard, basically, we need to make arrangements using a family member, friend, somebody. Everything's locked up right now, but it's ready for transport. Your purse, everything is locked up behind lock and key. I've talked to a Positive Image, and they're willing to have your stuff there as long as it's not too excessive.
so I'm sorry. Somebody in my family can go pick it up from Lake Ridge.
Yes, and then they can take it to Positive Image.
Okay, no, that's great. When I first called them, they said I couldn't do it that way. So I just wanted to be clear.
Yes, Mr. Lorenz has gotten that all situated for you, so you're in great shape. All right, so Ms. Beard, I'm going to see you. I'd like to see her next week. Ms. Branch, just want to make sure she's settled in and all of those good things. And Mr. Lorenz, should the transportation take place today?
Yes, Your Honor. As soon as court is completed, I will call Miss Juanita and we'll get that set up for her to be transported today.
All right, very good. So you're going today, Ms. Beard. All right.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right, very good. I'm going to give you a return to court date. What date would that be, Mr. Lorenz?
Your Honor, you said you want her next week?
I do. I want to see
That
her
would
next
be
week.
January 27th, 2021 at 9:30 a.m.
All right, very good. And I'll put her on for 9:30. All right, very good. And so it'll be in our virtual courtroom, okay, Ms. Beard?
I will be there.
All right, wonderful. Deputy Pravanchi, is that who I have this morning?
She is the only one, Your Honor. You have a blessed day and thank you.
Thank you. And is there any paperwork that you need from us?
Actually, we just need, if she's going to be put in a treatment center, a MIT with a personal bond.
All right.
And the sooner we get that, the sooner we can start processing her out of the jail.
All right. Ms. Drew, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, so we
Yes.
we need the paperwork with the personal bond and
Okay.
release to inpatient treatment at Positive Images only by way of Uber.
Uber,
Okay?
okey dokey, Positive Images.
Yes, and send me a message when
Okay.
you've prepared that document. I'll sign it, get
Okay.
it back to you so that we can get Ms. Beard processed so she can go into treatment on today. All right,
Thank
Ms.
you
Beard?
so much.
I need you to work with me. We tried it your way. You know, we doing it my way now, right?
Yeah, just back at the beginning, basically.
No, we doing it my way. Not just the beginning, we gonna do it my way. I tried it yours. Okay? at least for a while. All right?
Okay.
See you behind that mask. Okay. All right, ma'am. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the virtual courtroom on January 27th. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Sure,
you,
Ms.
Your
Beard.
Honor.
Thank you. You all have a good day and be safe.
You as
too.
well.
Oh, very good. And so I also had a couple of individuals that joined me. There's Miss Reese. Since you put your name there, I'm going to ask you to unmute. There's a button you need to push to unmute.
Yes.
Okay, so there are two Reeses, Angela Reese Davis and Deborah Reese.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, let me see Deborah Reese just very quickly. Miss Reese, you are not on my docket. Do you have a case number?
The papers are okay.
Hold on, Angela Reese Davis, I'm gonna mute you. I'm speaking to Deborah Reese right now, okay? All right. Miss Deborah Reese, do you have a case number?
I had you to hand me them off the couch and be on the couch.
All right, while you're looking for that, looks like Angela Reese is looking for her case number 2. I'm gonna mute you again, Deborah Reese. And then there is a gentleman on with the Galaxy Tab A. I'm gonna ask you to unmute, sir, and tell me your name and if you have a case number.
Yeah, my name is Jerome McCall.
I'm sorry, I can't hear your name.
My name is Jerome McCall.
Mr. McCall, you have a case in my courtroom today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a case number?
I'm getting it for you right now.
All right, Ms. Drew, is he on my, are any of these individuals on my docket?
I do not see those individuals, Judge.
Okay, I wanted to
Can
make
they
sure I had
repeat
the
one
updated
more?
one.
Yes, I also emailed the updated docket this morning also.
Okay,
Hello?
yes,
Excuse
Mr.
me.
McCall, yeah.
My case number is 8220.
82.
No, that wouldn't be a case number for us, Mr. McCall.
No.
What court are you supposed to be in? What does your paperwork say?
This the one they gave me.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna have all three of the parties do, Ms. Drew. I need you all to take down this phone number because I need to continue with my docket. You're going to call me, hold on one second, ma'am. You're going to call the courtroom. Call the courtroom and speak with my court clerk because I'm tying up my docket right now. So I'm gonna start with Deborah Reese will go first. If you could call my courtroom, it's 313-965-2280. So I'm gonna have you dial out right now, Deborah Reese, and call my courtroom. For Angela Reese Davis, you said you have your case number. Can you give me that number now?
My case number is 82207-277-12.
We don't have case numbers that begin with an 82, right, Ms. Drew?
72. That's the number I was speaking.
All right, so Miss Angela Reese Davis, I'm gonna have you stay on, and then I'll send you out. You should write down my court number as well, because you and Mr. McCall will have to call my court clerk, okay? Because I
Yeah.
don't have you on my docket, and that's our case number. Again,
Okay, so my mama have to call too?
okay, is that your mom? Okay,
Yes,
why
ma'am.
y'all on separate devices? All right.
Because I asked them, did we have to be on separate devices? And they told us, yeah.
Okay, that's okay. So you and your mother can call together, okay? Then Mr. McCall, I'm gonna have you wait a few minutes and then call. And Ms. Drew, you can update me on what's going on with them.
Okay, excuse me. Do you want me to sit on here until you tell me to call? Or I can?
Yes, you know what? I'll have you just stay, okay?
Yeah.
And then Ms. Drew, let me know when you're ready for him.
I'm ready.
Well, no, the mother and daughter are about to call you right now.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and when you're finished with them, let me know, and then I'll let Mr. McCall know. All right, thank you all for your patience. I appreciate it. All right, Ms. Angela Reese Davis, you need to go and call the courtroom, you and your mom.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
thank you.
thank you. All right, I'm going back to Danielle, Kathy. Mr. Griffin, are you ready to proceed with Miss Kathy?
We will be, Your Honor. I'm just waiting on Mr. Drew. I just asked for the ROA because this is a 2008 case,
Okay, does
and Miss Kathy is indicating that it was possibly resolved, but it was written under a different name. So just trying to get that information.
Okay, it's on the way.
all right, it's on the way. Will you need to go back in the breakout room with Miss Kathy?
Well, as soon as I get it, I will, Your Honor. I just want to make sure, see if
Okay.
the court needed me to do anything else.
All right,
Now.
just let me know when you're ready to go back into that breakout room, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much. All right, with that, I'm ready to, officer, who's first on the list this morning?
Mr. Harris Van Leer.
All right, good morning, Mr. Harris Van Leer. I am going to have you, I'm muting you, Mr. Young. I need you to mute yourself. Yes, and please don't unmute until I'm ready for you. Mr. Van Leer, I'm gonna have you unmute yourself, please. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm pretty good this morning. How are you, Judge?
I am well, thank you. I have the following case number for Jamal Harris Van Leer, 200-555-9301. Mr. Van Leer, please state your full name.
Jamal Harris Van Leer.
All right, thank you. And you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your case heard today by way of Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. All right, it's good to see you today, Mr. Harris Van Leer.
Thank you.
How are you doing overall?
Pretty good. I've been working pretty hard.
You've been working pretty hard. Where have you been working pretty hard at?
And management field at a quick service restaurant.
Yes, sir. I heard, and that's still going very well.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Have you been following your plan?
I've been trying to maintain everything. I have a couple stumbles here and there, but I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that I'm staying in line and in shape.
All right, tell me about the little stumble you've had here and there. I want to hear from you what it is.
I've had some positive tests.
Positive for what?
Alcohol
Okay.
and cocaine.
You had a recent positive test for cocaine?
No, ma'am.
Not
Just
recent, but you had a
no.
recent positive test for alcohol, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, tell me about that. How did alcohol get in your system, Mr. Harris Van Leer?
I called myself drinking a new energy drink, and
Oh, let me stop you. Let me stop you. Let me tell you why I'm gonna stop you. Because I want you to understand that the only way that this court can help you and address issues is with honesty. Energy drinks do not make you test positive for alcohol.
yeah,
Robitussin does not make you test positive for alcohol. Energy drink and Robitussin together will not make you test positive for alcohol. And so I believe, and I hope I did with everybody that's in the specialty court, I hope that when you came in, I stressed to you the importance of honesty. It will always go a long way with me because honesty gives me the ability to do my job. When you're not honest with me, then you put up a roadblock where I can't do my job. And that's a problem. Anybody trying to stop me from doing my job, it's just going to be hell to pay. Because every day I want to get up and do my job and give 150%. And so we had some discussions about that, Mr. Harris Van Leer, this morning in staffing. And I need you to really spend some time thinking about how you got here. how that alcohol ended up in your system, because you are responsible for everything that shows up in your test. Everything. Everything. If you're haphazardly drinking from your friends or what have you, that's unfortunate, because you're going to be the one penalized, not them. If you're haphazardly drinking,
Yes,
eating
ma'am.
from people and are not reading what's included in something before you ingest it or you drink it or eat it, that's going to be really unfortunate for you. That's for everybody in the courtroom, because you're going to be held responsible and accountable for everything that shows up in your testing. And so I stopped you because I don't want you to give me a story about some Robitussin or an energy drink, because I know through my now almost 4 years of training that it does not influence the results or the outcome of testing. I know that. Okay.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we talked about in staffing this morning that you've made some really good strides. You've done. First of all, I'm very proud of you, Mr. Harris Van Leer, that you've stayed with Lake Ridge, that you have that you've been there, you've been holding down your job, you've been showing up, you've been working hard because you got promoted to a management position. I'm very proud of you. Very proud of the fact that you have trusted us to some degree to help you to in where you are right now in this stage in life. And so I appreciate that, because I haven't had to fight you to help you. And that feels good to me. Yeah, it leaves me some energy to fight folks that I have to fight, right?
Yes,
But
ma'am.
I don't have to fight you. I've never had to fight you from the first day you walked or you came into, however you got into our court. I've trusted helping you. So I appreciate that, and I am extremely proud of you. So I know we've got an issue with that test, but I also want to point out to you how proud I am of you, of the work and the progress that you've made since you have been with us. One of the things, however, that I struggle with is that you've got to be accountable for your choices. You've got to be accountable for your choices. If you make a choice, you've got to be, please take all of that off your head in my courtroom. If you make a choice, you've got to be uh, in a position where you raise your hand and say, I made a choice, bad, good, indifferent. It made sense at the time, or it didn't make sense at all. But I made a choice, and I'm going to accept responsibility for that choice. And
Yes, ma'am.
if you don't get anything out of specialty court, and this is for the whole courtroom, that is something in all of our specialty courts that I expect people to take with them, is to, acknowledge their choices and take responsibility for them, because you will get a lot farther along in life when you do those things, as opposed to blaming it on somebody else, coming up with an excuse, finding a way out. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
It does. All right. So this morning I've asked Mr. Griffin. Mr. Griffin kind of volunteered. He wanted to have a little bit of discussion with you about about yes, Mr. Lorenz, I see your message. I want Mr. Griffin to have a little bit of discussion with you about some of the things that I just talked about. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all to a to a to a breakout room, and it is going to be breakout room number 3. And I need you both to accept the invitation. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right. Very good. There you go. All right. And so, Mr. Lorenz, you have asked me to do Mr. McDaniel next. Mr. McDaniel, if you could unmute, where are you? There you are. If you could unmute for me, I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you are. Good morning, Mr. McDaniel. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. I have the following matter for Dantes McDaniel, 200-556-5601. And so, Mr. McDaniel, please state your name.
Dantes McDaniel.
All right, and you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of Zoom?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, Mr. McCall, you can call the courtroom at this time, please. Thank you. All right, and so, Mr. McDaniel, I was very pleased to hear that you're doing well. How do you feel?
Great.
You feel great?
Halfway.
Halfway great? Hey, that's better than nothing, right? Are you
Yeah.
feeling better than you did the last time I saw you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Can you tell me a little? I know they're out there waiting to take you to an appointment. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so I don't want to hold you up. Look, I'm glad to see you today. You look good. I hope you're feeling good, right?
Of course. Thank you.
Who's that talking in the background?
Hello, Judge.
Who is that? Hello?
How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Well, trying to stay safe.
Yes, sir. Please do that. We are all trying to do the same thing and getting lined up for that vaccination.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Very good. Thank you. I appreciate you taking it for me, and I'll take it for you.
Yes.
All right.
No doubt
Very
about it.
good. Very good. All right. And so, Mr. McDaniel, you're going to your appointment this morning. I have a good report on you this morning. I just want to encourage you to keep up the great work that you're doing. I want you to continue to work hard to engage yourself in your sessions, okay?
Okay.
All right, very good. You have any questions for me this morning before you go to your appointment?
Can I get off tether?
Let's talk about that next time you call me, okay?
All right, no problem.
Are you some talk? How about this, Mr. McDaniel? Let me be fair. Have some conversation with Mr. Lorenz. And Mr. Lorenz can communicate with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then he'll get an answer back to you, okay?
All right,
Don't
thank you.
try to sneak that in on me at the last minute when I'm trying to get you out to your doctor. I see you, Mr. McDaniel.
I appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk about it. Mr. Lorenz, when do you have Mr. McDaniel coming back?
I have him coming back, Your Honor, on February 3rd at 9:30. That'll be in 2 weeks.
All right, very good. But I know you'll be in touch with him, and let's get his question answered about the tether, okay?
Yep, and make sure you have that conversation with your clinician as well, Mr. McDaniel.
How you doing, Mr. Lorenz?
Good morning, Mr. Allen.
How you doing? You all right?
Oh, yes.
Good.
All right, very good. Go to your appointment. Do well.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. All right, thank you. Okay, I have next on my list, I believe we're still waiting on information for Miss Kathy. So thank you for your patience this morning. I think that who joined us next, officer? Was it Mr.
Vincent?
All right, Mr. Vincent Tainer, good morning to you. If you could unmute.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you this morning?
I'm okay. How are you, Your Honor?
You're just okay?
I'm hanging in there.
You're hanging in there. What's that about? Mr. Vincent Tainer is not on my docket this morning. I need someone to read his case number into the record for me.
Your Honor, his case number is 1904519-601.
All right, very good. State your name for me, Mr. Vincent Tainer.
John Vicentiner.
All right, and you're in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of Zoom this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what's going on with you? You don't seem like my usual, Mr. Vincent Tainer. What's going on? You tell me.
Just in a bad mental health spot right now.
You are. What are you doing about it?
I met with my new therapist yesterday, and we discussed and came up with some coping strategies for me to try and utilize.
Okay. All right. Are you where you are able to pick up and speak with uh, Miss, no, Miss, you're not seeing Miss Willis anymore, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay,
They
are you
switched
having
me to Miss Bennett,
to Miss
Holly.
Bennett? All right. And so how do you feel about that?
I was very anxious at first because I got very close with Deja as a therapist, and she was a wonderful therapist. Um, she was actually my favorite one I'd ever had in over a decade of therapy, and she had done a lot to help me beyond her job even. So I was nervous, but I did meet with Holly for the first time yesterday, and I was pleasantly surprised. And I think she's going to be another
Uh-oh, you froze up.
therapist as well.
I'm sorry, you were frozen for a second. You said you think she's going to be,
I'm sorry. I said I met with her yesterday, and I think that
you freezing again. Mr. Vincent. All right, Matt, we'll have to resolve that issue with him because there he is.
there we
All
go.
right,
Okay, sorry.
all right.
I don't know what you heard or where I cut out.
The same place that you stopped and cut out the last time.
No, I was pleasantly surprised when I met with Miss Holly yesterday. I think she's going to be a great therapist as well.
All right, very good. Thank you for keeping an open mind. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
What else is going on with you, Mr. Vincent?
I don't know. It's not really anything that's changed in my life. It just in a rough week or so. Just one of
Okay,
those weeks, I guess.
all right. And I want you talked about you have a new therapist. What are some other tools that you've learned or that have been made available to you that you can use to get you through this rough patch?
Um, Actually, I have really good support from my new clinical director that works here. She's wonderful. And I've been working with her for a couple months now, and she's actually very supportive beyond her job as well, and checks in on me. I've been spending time with my parents, which helps me as well.
Good.
And
All right.
most of my coworkers are in recovery as well. Several of them in long-term recovery, so I have a lot of support among them as well.
All right, very good. And certainly if there's anything that you need from us, Mr. Vicentainer, don't hesitate to reach out, okay?
I did have one question, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
What does the path for me to get to independent housing look like at this point?
That's a conversation you and Matt will have. And then Matt has to present a plan to the court, to the team, actually, in staffing. And then we talk about it. And of course, we consult with you. And then we'll come up with how that looks, okay? Does that sound fair?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. How's your living situation right now?
It's stable. It's good.
All right, very good. Very good. Any other questions, Mr. Vicentainer?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lorenz, what do you want to tell me about Mr. Vicentainer?
Mr. Vicentainer has actually been doing really well. And also, as stated in staffing, he has accomplished every task that we have provided him, to include the writing assignment he was given last week for missing that drug test because he slept through his alarm. But other than that, he's met every demand of the drug testing. And so with that said, I would like to recommend him for phase 2 today. That I believe he's earned that, given his display of his accomplishments within the program.
All right, before we go to the whole recommendation for phase 2, tell me a little bit about that assignment I gave you. What'd you come up with?
I wrote an essay. You requested an essay on time management skills.
Yep. Can you
So
summarize it? I read it. Mr. Lorenz, I believe, sent that one to me. I had a couple of writing assignments out there. Summarize it for me.
Mhm. Yeah, I just discussed, the various requirements that I have in my life for different areas, whether it be legal or Lake Ridge or team wellness, and how I balance them and, multitasking, scheduling, time in advance and planning, the essential parts to be successful in time management.
Okay, what you gonna do about that alarm clock? Because that's what I wanted you to address. What you gonna do about that alarm clock now when you set the alarm?
I'm just not going to risk taking any naps before I have to drug test.
Okay. And anything else that you came up with about that alarm clock?
No, why?
No, I was just gonna say, what about a backup or?
Oh, it was also partly because I'd only set the alarm on my phone and not my actual alarm clock, which is much louder. Normally I set both.
Yes, yes. My kids were trying to make me believe that I'm the only person in America who still has an alarm clock on their nightstand.
No,
And if I am, everybody should have one, not just your phone.
I get up for work at 2:30 in the morning, so I set my phone and my alarm clock to make sure. But that time I had just set my phone thinking it was just going to be like a half-hour nap, and it obviously did not come out as intended.
Yes. All right. So you'll have that backup alarm ready to go.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Tell me how you feel about being promoted to phase 2. I want to hear from you.
I'm, ready to keep moving forward. It's the only way to keep getting better is to keep moving forward. It's part of the process. Like I said, I want to start moving in the direction of independent housing, moving through the requirements and checking the things off the list that I have to do for probation so that, I can just keep getting my life further on track and get through this.
Very good. How's the job going, Mr. Vicentana?
It's the best part of my life right now.
It is the best part. All right. You like helping people, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. If there's no objection from any of the other team members, I need everyone in the court. I need everyone in the courtroom to join me in congratulating Mr. Vicentana on his promotion to phase 2. Congratulations, Mr. Vicentana. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Vicentana.
Yeah, congratulations. So proud of
Big
you.
ups.
I'm sorry. Did someone say something?
That was Mr. Lamb.
I think that was a little urban vernacular, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got to switch hats. I have my presidential pink on today, Ms. Branch, for our vice president. Pink lip. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Okay. Y'all want to act like y'all don't see it? Okay. All right. I got you, Mr. Lamb. Congratulations, Mr. Vicentana. So proud of you. Look, you're not going to see me as often as you were in the beginning. Now that you're in phase 2, but understand that there's nothing different about the access, okay? We are still here and available to you. If you need us, you don't have to wait the 3 weeks or what have you, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Anything else from any of the team members as to Mr. Vicentana?
Just keep up the work, good work, Mr. Vicentana. You have a lot of accomplishments from where you came from. There was a bump in the road, but you've turned it around, and you're having great strides at the program.
Thank you.
All right, very good. All right, thank you. And so, Mr. Lorenz, when do you have Mr. Vicentana coming back to see us?
Now that he is on phase 2, I have him coming back in 3 weeks, which would be February 10th at 9:30.
At 9:30. Sounds good to me. You have that, Mr. Vicentana?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. I hope that you continue to use those tools and that things get better. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need to, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, very proud of you. Take care.
You too.
I have, next should be, is Jacob Rose next? Officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, before I call Mr. Rose's case, are we ready on Ms. Kathy, Mr. Griffin?
Your Honor, I just got out of the breakout room with Mr. Harris Ben Lear. I'm ready to go into a breakout room with Ms. Kathy. I received the ROA.
All right, very good. I'm closing out that breakout room because I did something quirky this morning and I'm not going to try to figure it out.
No problem.
And so I am going to send an invitation for you and Miss Kathy to go to breakout room number 4. Okay?
And Your Honor, our prosecutor for today is that Ms. Sydney Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give her a call. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Very good. Very good. All right. Accept the invitation, please. All right. I am ready on Mr. Rose. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Your Honor.
All right. State your name for the record.
Jacob Rose.
And Mr. Rose, you're in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Very good. How are you this morning, Mr. Rose?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you. Thank you. I have the following case number, which Mr. Rose is a transfer case. So I have that case number. It is 20S00648. All right, Mr. Rose, what have you been doing since the last time I've seen you?
I've been doing all right. I didn't know to screw up. I screwed up again, but other than that, I've been good.
I heard, Mr. Rose, I heard. And you know I wasn't happy about that, right?
Yeah, I know.
All right. So what are you going to do different going forward when you're faced with those kind of challenges?
Not do it, or at least not do it no more.
Will you talk to one of your counselors?
Or talk to somebody about it.
Talk to somebody about it.
Yeah,
Let them know.
yeah. Talk to a family member, a friend. Yeah.
Yes, very good. Very good. Let me tell you what I appreciate about you, Mr. Rose, is that whenever something happens, I don't have to guess or anything. You come right out and tell me. You totally take responsibility for the choices that you make, and I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate it, but I
Thank you.
just
That
want
means
you
a
to make,
lot.
yes, I appreciate it because then I can help you. I can help you. I know that when it comes to Mr. Rose, I don't have to guess at anything. He's going to tell me all about it. And so thank you. Thank you for helping me to help you, okay?
Thank you.
All right. And so, Mr. Rose, I do want you to make some better choices, and it sounds like you're already on a path to doing that. If you have some thoughts about something you want to do, and you're not sure if it's the right thing to do, you said you'll reach out to the counselor, reach out to a family friend, or reach out to a family member, reach out to Mr. Lorenz, your case manager. Reach out. I think that somebody's going to tell you the right thing to do, or whether or not what you're planning to do is the right thing to do. Okay?
Okay.
Can I count on you to do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Very good. You have any questions for me today, Mr. Rose?
Let me think. Not that I can think of.
Not that you can think of. You know that if you have some after we leave court, you can always circle back through Mr. Lorenz. He'll reach out to me and let me know.
All right.
All right. Let me hear from Mr. Lorenz very quickly. Mr. Lorenz?
Your Honor, I have a lot of good reports from both Eastern Seals and from Mr. Brian Young, who's in charge at his group home over there. And he did have that incident that happened on the 12th, but just like the last time, he turns it around. He admits to his incident, takes accountability, and does something about it to try to better himself. And so I would encourage him to keep having that positive mentality of trying to learn from his mistakes.
Thank you, Mr. Lorenz. And so it's good to see you, Mr. Young, on this morning. Anything
Good
you'd
morning.
like to add? Anything you need court to help you with?
Yes, I just, Mr. Lorenz, I was wondering, did you get the email from Jacob's case manager, Sherry Van Huel, about the court order for the drug tests?
I just got a voicemail regarding that, and I haven't had a chance to address that with you. Your Honor, Sherry Van, who is one of the case managers over at Easter Seals, and she left me a voicemail asking for clarity on whether or not Mr. Rose needed to be drug tested per the court's order. I haven't had a chance to respond to her yet.
All right, and so I believe, and I'll look back at my notes, I believe that I indicated, because Mr. Young indicated that Mr. Rose does not have the opportunity to go out into the community without supervision, that I was fine with whatever the testing protocol was at Easter Seals or at the group home. But if he's going to go out unsupervised or without supervision into the community, or if there's a suspicion of something, then certainly he would need to be tested.
Okay, I understand better now. I apologize.
Okay.
All right.
Does that, so let me ask you this, Mr. Young, do you all have a testing protocol at the group home?
Well, at the group home, we test as we see necessary. So if we have any suspicion, we test. Like when he went out, well, he didn't go out. He actually sent someone else out to get it for him. We drug tested. However, Easter Seals, if we wanted to get it done through them, a little bit more of a better drug test, I guess you could say. They're just requesting some sort of court order, just get that going for them.
Okay, all right. And so, but he's not out in the community unsupervised, is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Then, Mr. Lorenz, I would like my order to just stay in place, that it'll be the testing policy of the group home, and anytime there's a suspicion, and then of course, if you need the judge, if you need us to change that order, by all means, let me know.
Okay, great. I understand completely.
If you ever need more testing, just let me know. All right.
I appreciate that.
Anything else for us?
That's about it. You don't have any questions, Jacob? No.
Actually, I do. I got one question.
What's your question?
Hey,
Mr.
could I attend my AA meetings in person? Or
okay, Mr. Lorenz.
Oh, Your Honor, I had a discussion with him regarding that yesterday, and I told him that he is allowed to attend them in person as long as the group home policy and his clinician believe it is appropriate for him, given his plans.
Because we're in a pandemic and all of those things, and so whatever the group home deems appropriate, that's correct. Okay.
All right. That's
Does
it.
that
Thank
answer
you.
your question, Mr. Rose?
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day. Stay.
He ending his own session. Hold on, Mr. Rose. I want to give you a return to court date and see if anybody else on the team want to say something to you. Anybody else on the team have something for Mr. Rose?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. You cut out a little bit. We couldn't understand you.
Oh, I said I wanted to give the team an opportunity if anybody else had anything else. If not, I need to give a return to court date. Okay, return to court date, Mr. Lorenz.
I have a return to court date, Your Honor, on February 3rd, 2021 at 9:30 a.m.
At 9:30. All right, we're all set, Mr. Young and Mr. Rose.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Very good. Good to see you all. Thanks for being a part of. Take
care.
Bye-bye. All right. All right, Mr. Van Leer. You ready? You over there sleeping? You woke now? All right. You had an opportunity to talk with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what'd you think? What do you think?
It was a good talk, and I need to start taking more accountability and being more careful with the things that I'm doing and taking a participation in.
All right, very good. So now you're ready to tell me how the alcohol got in your system?
Well, I took a drink that I thought or was under the impression that was an energy drink, and it was from associate of mine, and I drank it under the impression that it was an energy drink, but I didn't know surely or for sure.
And you should have known for sure, right, before you drank it. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So, going forward, we have to do something different. Look, we talked a little bit this morning in staffing about how I'm going to respond to this. And so I indicated to, after a number of recommendations, different kinds of recommendations, this is what I have decided with respect to a sanction. The next time we have a drinking incident, I'm gonna have to place you on a tether. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I prefer not to. I prefer to see you work through it and do it. But there's a high likelihood that I'm gonna place you on a tether. Also, in talking to Mr. Williams, there's a high likelihood that some of your privileges that you've earned at Lake Ridge will be taken away. Like, for instance, that private room. You might not be able to have a private room.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I want you to be able to have that private room, because he says that private room, you keep it so clean. It's impressive. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. And so we want you to have that private room, but you know that you have to earn that private room, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. And then there was a recommendation for you to write a reflection. I think Mr. Griffin did a great job, Attorney Griffin, at talking with you about being accountable for your actions, for what you take in, maybe for who you associate with, who you
Yes.
hang out with. I'm not gonna have you write anything. I want you to keep that in mind. Everything that Attorney Griffin told you in that breakout room, I want you to keep that in mind, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because you've come too far, Mr. Harris Van Leer, right? We've been together for a minute, haven't we?
Yes, ma'am.
We have. And is your life better or worse since you've been with us?
It's better.
It
It's
is better.
more serene.
Yes. What else is better?
Better conditions. Feeling a lot more positive. I'm able to eat every day. Mhm.
Eat every day. What else is better? You have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
You have hot running water.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, things are better. And you know what? They're going to get even better as you work with us to work on the things and resolve the things we can, and to work through the things that we can't resolve, right?
Yes,
They're
ma'am.
only going to get better. So if you like this feeling of better, come on, I challenge you to continue to do what you're supposed to do, because it's only going to get better.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? I have your word that you're going to work with.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm writing it down, what's gonna happen next time.
Mhm.
So that means even if I have a senior moment, it's gonna be on your sheet, and I'm gonna be able to read it.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
All right. You have any questions for me, Mr. Harris Van Leer?
No, ma'am.
All right. Anything else from the team?
Your Judge, may I get a clarity on the reflection paper? Are you assigning that, or are we not assigning that?
I'm not assigning it.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's no order change for today.
No order change, other than I let him know the next time what would happen. So it's kind of
Thank
like
you, Your
held
Honor.
in advance.
All
All
right,
right.
thank you.
Very good. All right, if nothing, Mr. Lamb, if nothing else, I'm gonna give a return to court date for Mr. Harris Van Leer. Mr. Lorenz,
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a return to court date of February 3rd, 2021 at 9:30.
all right, very good. Did you get that, Mr. Harris Van Leer?
Yes, ma'am. It's a couple days after my birthday, so
It's your birthday,
January the 27th.
January 20. What are you doing for your birthday?
Probably sleeping.
That's a good thing to do for your birthday. Rest up. That way you don't
Yeah.
start looking old.
Yes,
That's what they
ma'am.
used to make me believe, that if you sleep on your birthday, you wouldn't look older the next day or something. Something
Okay.
southern crazy, yeah. All right, there. You know we can't turn up for our birthdays, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. How old will you be, Mr. Harris Van Lee, if you don't mind telling me?
29 years old.
29. Look at
Yes, ma'am.
you. You are almost grown.
Yeah.
You are grown. I just say that to my kids every year they get. I say, you're almost grown. So the 30-year-old's like, when do I get to be all the way grown? I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Absolutely. All right. Good to see you today. I want you to continue to do well. Know that we're here if you need us, okay?
All righty.
All
Have a
right.
wonderful day.
You do the same. Be safe.
Take care.
All right. I am going to ask, I believe that is Mr. Howell. Mr. Howell, I'm going to ask you to start your camera. Good morning to you, Mr. Howell.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Doing good.
All right, very good. Let me read your case number into the record. Case number 200-564-2301. State your name for the record, Mr. Howell.
Dr. Wahab.
All right, and Mr. Howell, where are you? There you are. Mr. Howell, you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your case heard by way of Zoom this morning?
Yes,
All right, very good. How are you doing, Mr. Howell?
I'm doing all right.
Tell me what that means to you, that you're doing all right.
I found a couple new coping skills. My grandmama just got diagnosed with COVID, so I'm finding some coping skills to get through that. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to her every day, and my mom said that we can go over there and drop her off some food on her front porch because she was kind of hungry and couldn't go to the grocery store. So
Yes.
looking forward to that stuff.
All right, very good, very good. Well, I hope that things turn out well for her. The fact that she's home and still talking and able to eat, those are all great signs that she'll overcome this. And so be a good grandson and go drop that food off on the porch, okay?
I am.
All right, very good. How have you been doing with respect to the things that you're supposed to do in your program?
I've been doing fine. I had a little bit of trouble with the lady at ATS, but I wrote her a note, you know, and she told me she accept my apologies and just don't let it happen again, Mr. Howe, or she gonna put her foot so far up, you know. So yeah, so yeah,
She
everything
said
was
that stuff I can't say. All right now. Mr. Howell, they told me about that incident at ATS, and I just couldn't believe it because you're such a nice guy. You're such a nice young man. And so when you go to testing, anytime somebody is providing a service to you, when somebody has what you need, you have to pack your patience. That's something my mother used to say to me all the time. When somebody else has what you need, pack your patience. Be willing to be there for as long as it takes because they have what you need. You need a test. Are you gonna have to look at my face? Look at my face. And the lady is the one that has to process you for the test, right?
Yes.
So pack your patience when you go. I'm glad y'all got that resolved.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Look at you. I'm so glad. Tell me what else been going on with you, because you know I already know. I'm giving you a chance to tell me. What your
Well,
test results been saying to me?
well, I was told that some of my tests were negative and some of them were positive, and I was confused that they were positive at Team Wellness and negative at ATS. I wasn't
Because they may
understanding.
have a different cutoff in levels, in level detections.
Yeah, because I know I was gonna say because I know I've been drinking this detox water with the fruits and the vinegar and all of that stuff.
Why
And
you drinking detox water? What you trying to detox from? Go on, tell on yourself.
no, I'm drinking it because I'm having this problem with getting this stuff up on my system. So I'm just drinking away. I'm drinking vinegar water, vinegar water is nonstop.
Stop doing it.
Stop?
Stop.
Okay.
And when I say it, stop doing it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let you define it. I'm referring to vinegar water and you know, pickle pig feet juice and everything else you're drinking to detox. But I also am referring to it. Whatever is going on that's causing these tests to come back positive. You know what it is. You know how you're coming in contact with it. And I'm telling you, stop. Let me tell you why I'm telling you to stop. Let me tell you how much I care about you, Mr. Howell. We are trying to get you to a place where you are being treated and it is all for your good. And you're able to continue to progress, not just physically and mentally, but progress in life. Because you happen to be an outstanding young man. But if you are adding some things to it, it makes it difficult for us. It
Right.
makes it difficult. It makes it almost impossible. And so I don't want to see you be in this program and leave, and we've not been able to help you in the way that we should be able to help you. But in
Right.
order, we can give 100%, but if you don't give anything, then you will have just done this program and nothing in your life will have changed. It'll get better, but then it's just a matter of time, it'll get worse. We've seen it happen.
Right.
So I need you to work with us. What do you think
Okay.
about that?
I'm gonna work with y'all.
All right. You gonna stop doing it?
I'm done. I've been taking these cold showers lately. So when I go through these problems, Deja told me instead of doing anything like self-harming or doing something I know I'm gonna get in trouble, just take a cold shower because that'll bring you pain as well. But it won't bring you pain to hurt yourself. It'll just bring you some pain like, ooh, I can't take this no more. I gotta get out. And that urge will be gone.
Yeah, that's a good coping mechanism as we move you through your treatment to a place where even when you get frazzled, you don't want to experience pain. But for now, I like the cold water.
I like the cold water too.
I like the cold water. Come on, that's a winner for me. And so I really need you to work hard at it because we're all working hard for you. And Mr. Lorenz is really trying to come up with ways to make sure we keep you on track. But he needs your help. Don't leave him out there hanging because I'll be fussing at him.
I know he be getting on me too.
Yeah, because I get on him. That's right. They say rolls downhill. It does. So Mr. Lorenz is just letting it roll downhill. Absolutely. And so come on, help him out. He's rooting for you. He's pulling for you.
I'm sending the rest of my AAs in today. I got 17 of them. So
All right, tell me something you learned in AA. What have you learned?
I learned that if you're not around it or you're not near it, it's a saying that they say if you're not around it or you're not near it, it won't happen. Things like that, like going to places that dealing with people, like friends that you got. If they doing the things that you can't do, it's best to just hold a phone conversation. You ain't got to see them in person. Corona real anyway.
It
So
is real. Yes, it is. That's right. That's right. So I know on the drinking side, they say you have to stay out of wet places and wet faces. That's people that's drinking and places that sell alcohol. And
yep.
so it's the same thing with any other substance. If you try to do something different, you have to change your circle of influence, you know? You just have to. And so that's a good thing to learn. So look, we had a lot of discussion about how I'm going to respond to your results or what have you. And so I have your word, right? Right, Mr. Howell?
My word.
I can't hear you now. You faded out.
I said you have my word.
There you go. All right. And so, yes, sir.
I wanted to say so. I wanted to say I'm working to get everything right, but if it's not right, is there any way that I could like, admit myself in for a couple of days and try to get myself together or anything like that?
Well, that's a good question. And that segues right into, first of all, I want to thank you for acknowledging that you may need some additional help. And so this is what Mr. Lawrence is going to work with you on today. Let's get Mr. Howell on the 1-800 number. Okay? And I would need you, when you need that help, you have to be brutally honest with them about what's going on.
Talk to these people?
Right, remember the 1-800 number that you called
Yes.
at the very beginning of the process? That's the
Yes.
1-800 number I'm speaking of.
Okay.
But you have to be honest. They can't help you if you're not gonna be honest.
Okay.
And so, Mr. Lorenz, have some conversation with him about that and facilitate that for me.
Yes, Your Honor, I will get with him after court and let him know what we discussed, and I will shoot you an email when it is completed.
All right, how does that sound, Mr. Howell?
Sounds good.
Sounds good, very good. What other questions you have for me?
That was it.
That was it. You have the babies, right?
Yes, I have both of them.
How are they?
They doing good. They doing real good. They're pain in my butt, but they good.
All right. Well, that's good pay. That's good pay. You
Yeah.
earned it. And so, yeah, very good. All right. What do you need us to help you with, Mr. Howell, if anything?
Nothing really.
All right. Mr. Lorenz, anything else you want to add?
I would like to commend you that you brought up with Judge regarding like if you need to seek help, can you get it? You're always welcome to help in the courtroom with myself, your providers. It's good that you recognize that you need help. And so we're here for you. And I would encourage you to keep up the good work regarding that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anything else from any of the other team members for Mr. Howell? If not, then Mr. Lorenz, what's the return to court date for Mr. Howell?
Your Honor, I have him returning to court on February 3rd, 2021 at 9:30.
All right, Mr. Howell, there you go.
All righty.
You're all set. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right, take care of yourself, take care of those babies, and be safe.
All righty.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, I have one last matter. Miss Kathy, I am going to ask you to start your video. All right, Mr. Griffin, you have something else for me?
I apologize from the start, Your Honor. This is what's going on. Miss Kathy has two cases. I've been in contact with the prosecutor, but they indicate to me that there may be a different prosecutor that's assigned for this specific case.
Wait, I saw a prosecutor. There's Miss Schneider.
It'll be me on this one.
Okay. So I sent and I'll send it to you too. There are two cases. Your Honor, we believe that this matter may have been already adjudicated, but she was picked up on a warrant, she believes, on November 11th, but she already had the outstanding ticket. So that ticket was resolved. Basically, we think that it's the same case, but it has already been dismissed. So I'm gonna talk with Ms. Rogers very briefly, and
Meaning Ms. Schneider?
Yeah, Ms. Schneider.
Okay, so is this a good time for us to take a break?
Yes, Your Honor, because I told Ms. Kathy that there are a lot of moving parts in this one. So just so she could just have just a little bit of patience.
Oh, of course she will. Right, Ms. Kathy? Of course she will. Even though she was the first person in my courtroom this morning, she will have a lot of patience. It will work out for you. All right, you're in good hands. And then Ms. Drew, because we want you to leave 36th District Court with everything tied up. Can you make sure there's nothing else out there drifting for Ms. Kathy? Because I only had one matter on my docket. Okay.
And the other matter was closed, Your Honor, and I sent it to Ms. Drew. She was actually the court clerk on the other case too, back in 2014. So yeah, so I'll contact.
Is closed with a dismissal or closed with money owed?
It's closed with dismissal, Judge. She only has the one case that's with us right now.
All right, you're in great shape. So give us a few minutes. Mr. Griffin, what do you need from me? Because I'm gonna take a quick break as well.
Nothing, just a little bit of patience from you too, Your Honor. That's all. I would just ask Ms.